Okay, I'm going to quickly go over these questions. The first one I'm going to go over is simplifying the square root of 49. Then I'm going to go over the simplifying 64 to the 1/3 power. And then number 3, 4, and 5. All right. So hopefully you've read ahead. You understand what I'm going over, and you'll be able to do well on tomorrow's test. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to bring this over here. Let me blow that up. All right, you got to remember, the square root of 49, or 49 to the 1/2 power means the square root of 49, okay? Then 64 to the 1/3 power means the cube root of 64. Let me go ahead and blow that up, see if I can do that for you. There we go, and I'll push this off to the side a little bit. All right, so that's the cube root of 64. All right, right there is 4, because that's 4 times 4 times 4. Now, I want you to notice the number 3. It said we had 27 months, so we sold our stock at 27 months. So what I did was I plugged in 27 for M. Now this is to the 4/3 power. You can read it on your paper, but that 3 means that's an index of 3 and a power of 4. So when we do the parentheses first, it's the cube root of 27, which is 3, and then I rewrite it right here, and I get 12 times 3 to the 4th power. Well, 3 to the 4th power is 81, so therefore 12 times 81. Now make sure you're writing all these steps down. So if you look, it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 6th step. My 6th step is writing the answers, $972. So when I sold that stock after 27 months, it cost me $972, or I got $972. So let me go ahead and delete all these little things. All right, now let's move on to number 4. Okay. On number 4, we're talking about volume. So notice we have 27, a volume of 27 cubic something. It's to the 2/3 power. So that means this index right there goes right there. So that means the cube root of 27 is 3. Bring down your square, and that means 3 squared, which is 9. So I have 9 centimeters squared because they were talking about area. Number 5, again, volume. And I believe H is height. All right, so we're going to take, now notice there's to the 1/2 power, but I can't do any of that yet till I take care of what's inside the parentheses. So do what's on top first, so 3 times 12 is 36, and then divide by 4. Again, I can't do anything with the power until I take care of the parentheses. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. Now I have 9 to the 1/2 power, which simply means 9, or the square root of 9, which is just 3 inches. All right, let me go ahead and delete all those. All right, so now let me move this over. Number 6. Now if you look at number 6, it simply says simplify the expression 6 to the 2/3 power divided by 4 to the 1/2 power. All right, and that's what I'm going to do here. All right, so I'm going to work on this one first. That means the cube root of 8, which is 2. So I'm going to go to the next step, and then just bring down that power of 2. So 2 squared is 4. Over here, anything to the 1/2 power means the square root of. So the square root of 4 is 2. So I'm going to bring that down again. So I end up getting 4 divided by 2, which is simply 2. Okay, on this particular problem, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over number 7, which is m to the 7th power times m to the negative 3rd. And then I'm going to go over number 8 and number 9. Which one? The first one's a division. Number 9 is taking a power to a power. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and go through this real quick. Let me minimize it a little bit. All right, here we go. On number 7, remember when you're multiplying like bases, you just simply add the exponents. So 7 plus a negative 3 is 4, so you got m to the 4th. Now, I made a little mistake on number 8 as I was walking through that. If you notice, I did 4 will go into 16 4 times. So 4 is on the denominator. Okay? Then I've set it up here properly, but look where the 4 is. That 4 is in the wrong spot. So basically, you can either do it one of two ways. You can either subtract the exponents, which is what I did right here, and you get 4. Or you can just say who wins the battle. Well, the top wins the battle by 4, and then just rewrite it as m to the 4th over 4, and that's my answer. On number 9, you're simply multiplying the exponents because you're taking a power to a power, so that would be m to the 16th power. So hopefully that will, going over those three will help with exponent rules. Okay, now I'm going to go over number 10, 11, 12, and number 6. I know it's out of order. But on number 10, I'm simply substituting. We're evaluating. On number 11, I'm evaluating. Again, I'm substituting in. Number 12, I'm evaluating one more time. And then finally, on number 6, I'm only simplifying the expression. So let me minimize those, put those over here. Let me bring this up. If you look at number 10, all right, on number 10, let me move that out a little bit more. On number 10, I simply, wherever there was a z, I put a -2, which was right here and right here. I did order of operations, so the inside is -3, -2 minus 1 is -3, and I then squared it. So I kept going down and down and down, so -3 squared is a +9, and then 2 times 9 is 18. On this particular side, I multiplied 5 times -2, which is -10, and I kept carrying that -10 down until I was able to add it right here, which is just 8 as my answer. On number 11, let me go ahead and erase that. Alright, on number 11, if you notice, I basically just substituted the 4 in for x and the 3 in for y. So there goes my 4, and then in these two y's goes a 3. Well, when I did that, I did this first, which was 24, minus 6 times 3, which is 18. And then again, I did the numerator first, so 24 minus 18 is 6. Now, as I came down here, I was able to reduce that to 6 divided by 3, which is just 2. Now, the next one I'm going to go over is number 12 and number 6. Okay, in number 12, I have x times y minus 10 times x squared. I simply just plugged in the -2 for x and -4 for y. Notice right here, I got -2 times -4, which is 8. And then right here, -10 times, or 10 times -2, sorry, I had to do this first, which was -2 squared, which is 4. And I brought the -10 down, so -10 times 4 is actually 40. So 8 minus 40 is a -32. Over on number 6, this was a distribution problem. So 3 times the a to the third is 3a to the third, and then 3 times 2a to the second is 6a squared. And I simply just brought down the -4a to the third. Do not multiply that by 3. That 4a to the third is not inside the parentheses. That would be a big no-no, so please don't do that. Now finally, I look to combine like terms, which happens to be the 3a to the third and the -4a to the third, which gives me a -1a to the third. There's a -1 there. And then plus 6a squared. And since they're unlike terms, I simply box it and leave it alone. Okay, on this next problem, what I'm going to do is on number 7, I'm going to show you that I have to do the distribution first before I do anything. And then I'm going to simplify this expression by combining like terms. And then on number 12, I'm going to distribute that -2 and then simplify the expression. So I'm going to show you how to take care of all those steps. Alright, so here we go. Let me minimize that, throw that up here, bring this bigger. Alright, so here we go. On number 7, if you notice, I basically distributed this first. So I brought down my x to the third minus 6y. And then -2 times x to the third is -2x to the third. And then -2 times -y is a positive 2y. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way so it clears things up. And then finally on the next step, I boxed up my y's and I underlined my x to the thirds. So I have 1x to the third minus 2x to the third gives me a -1x to the third. And I combine -6y and a plus 2y, and the result was a -4y, and that's what I put right there. Alright, and that is my answer for that one. Okay, let me go ahead and get rid of all that. On number 9, I simply combine 2x and 12x, which is 10x, and then -5 and positive 6 is a result of positive 1. So I'll put those together, and there's my answer. On number 12, basically I had to distribute that -2 first, so I brought down the y to the fourth. -2 times x is a -2x. -2 times -3y is a positive 6y. I then combined like terms by combining the y to the fourth and the 6y to the fourth, which gives me 7y to the fourth. And then I simply brought down the negative 2x. Or I could switch around and write negative 2x plus the 7y to the fourth. The negative 2x remains negative, the 7y remains positive. On number 13, if you notice, I have 4 vegetables that I need to consider, and their price per pound is listed. Beyonce's hosting a dinner party. Now look, she bought squash, potatoes, and a pound of corn, but she also had already bought a pound of onion, so we can incorporate that into our saying, or into our expression. So let me go ahead and get rid of that. All right, now, if you notice, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over here. So here is Beyonce's dinner party, okay, sort of. Notice I wrote all this out, 96 cents per pound, 79 cents per pound. Well, here's my onions. I changed the variable to N. 79 cents per pound of squash, plus 45 cents per pound of potatoes, plus 75 cents per pound of corn. So putting those all together and adding them up, let me create an expression. Well, if you notice, we already have 1 pound of onion, so I just put a 1 in there. So that gave me 96 cents. Then 4 pounds of squash, 10 pounds of potatoes, 3 pounds of corn. Once I got them all converted into money, I added them all up, and it came out to $10.87 spent on all the vegetables. Finally, on number 14, if you look at it, number 14 says Javon works at Verizon. He earns $10 per hour plus $20 per phone that he sells. Well, we want to find his earnings when he works 8 hours and sells 15 phones. All right, sounds simple enough. So here we go. I wrote down $10 per hour plus the $20 per phone. So he worked 8 hours, so 10 times 8 is 80. And then he sold 20 phones, so that's $15 or $20 for every phone, so 20 times 15. That means he made $300 off the phones. Put that together, and he's made $380 total. And basically, if you're able to put those into expressions, it'll be half the battle on this test. And finally, the last 2 questions. Alyssa and Sarah are evenly sharing the cost of 7 yards of red fabric, and 3 yards of blue fabric. So they're already telling you that you have 7 yards of red, and you're going to have 3 yards of blue. Now, if you notice, red is going to cost $6.50, blue is going to cost $8. So what that tells me is this. I'm able to bring this up. Let me go ahead and erase all that right there. All right, so now when I look at that, here's my red fabric and here's my blue fabric. Well, it's $6.50 for the red fabric for every yard and $8 for every yard of the blue. Well, if you notice, I got 7 yards of red, so that's 7 times $6.50, and I got 3 yards of blue, so 7 times $6.50 gave me $45.50. 8 times 3 gave me 24, so total was $69.50 spent on all of it. Now, since they shared it, we're going to cut it in half. That means it's $34.75 per person. Okay? Now, let's look at number 16. Now, number 16 is Nikki is buying 2 hats, 3 scarves for 4 cousins. So, if it's $8.50 per hat and $5.50 per scarf, well, if you think about it, she bought 2 hats and 3 scarves for each cousin. So that has to happen 4 times. So the hats alone are going to cost $17 because 2 times $8.50 is $17. The scarves alone are going to cost $16.50. Now, that's for just one cousin. So that means when I add that up, she spends $33.50 on one of her cousins. That's a pretty good cousin if you ask me. Now, we're going to multiply that by 4 because she has 4 cousins. So in total, she has spent $134 on her cousins.